Hi everyone, it's Van. Hope you're all doing okay and keeping well and having a nice Sunday so far. Today I'm bringing you part 2 of my recent book haul. There'll be a couple of hardbacks that I forgot to mention yesterday, and the others will be paperbacks. There was one new book I forgot to mention in my previous video, so I'll be showing that one in this one. As usual, if you hear any background noise, I do apologise about that. I think it's probably about 11:30, 11:45 here in the UK at the moment, and I have got the window open as well, so you might hear some traffic noise and that, so because it's still quite muggy here in the UK at the moment and humid. And so with that being said, I'll get into the video. And first up, I'm going to start off with some new bookmarks that I bought off Amazon. They're by Kady Borup Press bookmarks. So the first one we have is Tree of Hearts. I have a couple of these. I do like that design. So there's that one. And this one, which is Let Your Dreams Take Flight. And that one's called Butterflies. I do like their bookmarks. I think they're really nice and, you know, reasonably priced. That's Kady Borup Press bookmarks. I'll start off with this one, I think. This one is Midnight Timetable by Bara Chung. I'm sorry if I mispronounced the name. Translated by Anton Her. And this one's a signed edition from Waterstones, but I had this off eBay. Now I can't remember if this was second hand or nearly new. You know, used or nearly new. But it was second hand off eBay. And it sounded really good. Not sure if there's a synopsis in this one as such. Oh yes, there is, sorry. This one says, in a labyrinthine research facility where those who open the wrong door might find it's disappeared behind them, or that the echoing footsteps they're running from are their own, an unnamed protagonist begins their night shift under the watchful eye of the building's enigmatic senior guard. Each evening, as the fluorescent lights flicker and the silence grows heavier, the guard shares another tale of cursed objects and lives unspilled by vengeance, sorrow, or revelation. But these are not mere ghost stories. They are warnings, lessons, or perhaps confessions. As the night stretch on and the reality frays, our protagonist starts to suspect that the building itself is alive with malevolent intent, and that's the objects they guard, and that the objects they guard aren't just cursed, they're waiting, watching. And that's that one. Next up we have one called Evil in Me by Bram. I'm trying to move this out of the way. I do apologise about the door noise in the background. That's that one. And this one says, aspiring musician Ruby Tucker has had enough of her small rural town and dysfunctional family, but falling out with her best friend and bandmate has killed her dreams of escaping and making it big in the 80s Atlanta punk scene. When Ruby helps her eccentric neighbour organise his religious relics, an ancient ring clamps down on her finger, possessing her with the spirit of a bloodthirsty demon. There's no exorcising it unless hundreds of people chant a spell to set Ruby free. And what's worse, the ring is a beacon for evil, drawing a monstrous mob straight to Ruby, hungry for her flesh. If Ruby can get her band back together, she has a shot at salvation. It's time for her to face the music and put her whole soul into a song, one powerful enough to raise some hell. This devilish tale includes nearly 24 of Brahms' immersive paintings and brilliant end papers. So, I'll try and show some of the artwork and things. They're quite eerie and beautiful. I have got a few Bram books that I haven't read yet. I've got Lost Gods, oh my goodness, I've got Lost Gods, something child, what's it called? I think it's the retelling of Peter Pan. I just can't think of the full title. I think it's something child. I can't remember. I got Slowfoot, and I think I've got Krampus as well. Yeah, I have. I've got Krampus. I just can't think of that child one. Is it the Lost Child? Is it? No? No, I don't think it's called that. Anyway, I know it's a retelling of, I think I remember right, the retelling of Peter Pan. But I've about four of Bram's books, obviously 5 now, including Evening Me. But I've yet to read one. But I am looking forward to getting around finally to reading some Bram. But I heard about this one through Kady at Books and Things on YouTube, Booktube, and the artwork is just stunning. You know, it's just beautiful artwork, and it sounds really, really good as well. So thank you to Kady at Books and Things for mentioning the book by Bram. And she's a great YouTuber, Kady. She her book calls, I mean, she mentions books I've never even heard of, you know, and what sounds really interesting, and I do enjoy watching Kady's content. So shout out to Kady at Books and Things, and thank you for letting everybody know about Evening Me, and I look forward to reading that. So yeah, that's that. Next up we have these are the second-hand books I had off. I think I had them off Wilder Books. These two is off eBay sellers. I can't remember, the sellers' names now, but I had them off eBay sellers. And again, I think there's either both second hand or nearly used or nearly new. So that's those two. First up we have Days at the Morisaki Bookshop by Satoshi Yagisawa. Again, I apologise if I mispronounce anyone's names. And it's translated by Eric Azawa. That's that one. And this one says, a tale of families, love, new beginnings, and the comfort that can be found in books. From the beginning of summer to early spring, I lived at the Morisaki Bookshop. I spent that period of my life in the spare room on the second floor of the store, trying to bury myself in books. The cramped room barely got any light, and everything felt damp. It smelled constantly of musty old books. But I will always remember the days I spent there, because that's where my real life began. And I know, without a doubt, that if not for these days, the rest of my life would have been bland, monotonous, and lonely. The Morisaki Bookshop is precious to me. It's a place I know I'll never forget. That sounds like it's going to pull on the heartstrings, I think. So that's that one. Next up we have More Days at the Morisaki Bookshop, again by Satoshi Yagisawa, translated by Eric Azawa. I won't be reading the back of this one in case, I'm not sure if there's going to be any spoilers, but I'll just turn the book over and that's what the back of this one says. I do like my Asian translated books. I've read some really good ones, and I'm like comfy, cozy reads. But I have quite a few. I have like the cozy books, the thrillers, and like fantasy style translated books. That's that one. Next up we have The Feeding by A.J. Ryan, and the tagline says, Pray for Dawn. And this one says, Layla has spent her entire life in the Redoubt, one of the last bastions of humanity in a ravaged world. She's never been beyond the Redoubt's walls. Only crossers, sorry about the noise in the background, only crossers with their special training and survival skills are permitted to venture into the shadow-haunted wastelands. When Layla's father falls ill, she knows she needs to find a cure, but no such medicine can be found within the Redoubt. Instead, her only chance is to pass a series of grueling trials to become a crosser, and then to strike out into the wilderness where the feeders are. This sounds pretty good. Obviously I think it's probably about vampires and stuff. But yeah, I do very much like the sound of that one. So that's The Feeding by A.J. Ryan. And move on to the last but not least, Haunted, The Ghost Stories and Folklore of the British Isles by E.J. Gilbert. And this one says, Errors is an island of ghosts, from the White Lady of Gibbside to the Rossmore Banshees. These and other stories have fascinated us for centuries. We have told them to each other at bedtime, around the kitchen table, and sitting around the fireside. In this collection of supernatural tales, Haunted takes us through some of the most unsettling and enduring ghost stories and discusses what they reveal about the listener, the teller, and the times we live in. I do enjoy short ghost stories, and I do enjoy like reading about folklore, you know, tales gone by and tales passed down through generations, whether it be like of the supernatural or traditional or local folklores. So I'm very much looking forward to reading that. I think yeah, I'm just short, you know, the short stories of folklore and ghost tales. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to reading that. I do enjoy that sort of stuff. I've enjoyed it since, you know, I was little, since I was a kid. So I very much look forward to reading that. And stuff. Now I move on to, that's the book haul of second-hand books, nearly new books, hardbacks and paperbacks. And now I'm just going to do a short recap of what I'm reading at the moment. And as I say, I'm still reading Anne Rice's sorry, apologies. Anne Rice's Blackwood Farm, The Vampire Chronicles. I am on now page 490. So again, it has been a slow progress. There's, I think it's 774 pages. So yeah, I'm just about just over three quarters of the way through now. And tab and stuff. But it's been a really good read so far. And so I'm three quarters of the way through. Will it be a 5-star? I'm not sure. Maybe a 4, maybe 4.5. I'll wait and see what happens when I get to the end. But so far so good. And favourite characters of this so far up to yet is Aunt Queen and Queen. Queen's just adorable. He's such a he's such a lovable character. You know, as of yet he's harmless and he's just friendly and he just, you know, adores his family and the friends in his life, and he's just got a very caring, loving nature and aura of him. And I understand now why Queen is sort of a fan favourite as much as what Lestat is. I get it. And that because he has got quite a fascinating and just a fun, again, adorable aura around him and just a lovable character. So yeah, I am enjoying it, and I'm enjoying the interactions between Queen and other characters, and it's quite cheeky at times, is Queen. And then like you got Aunt Queen, who's just a sweetheart. She really is. She just takes things in her stride, and she's welcoming to all, and she's quite a proud lady, and she adores her cameos, a cameo brooches, and she's a very sweet woman, and yeah, so far so very good. Slow progress, I know, but yeah, still enjoying it. And that's it. I think I've come to the end of the video for today. And that, so I'm not sure. No, I'm not got anything in mind book wise to get after these ones and the ones I showed you yesterday. I don't think, unless, you know, other books do catch my eye when I watch other YouTubers videos, which tends to happen quite a few times. Quite a lot. And again, another shout out to Kady of Books and Things for mentioning Evening Me by Bram in her book haul, and I'm very much looking forward to reading that when I get to it. And that's it for today, I think. So, as always, thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. Stay safe. Keep hydrated. Definitely. You know, this humid weather, take good. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now. Bye bye.